Once again, welcome to my channel. Today, I will discuss on a topic on gelatin preparation and also about its properties and use. As we all know, gelatin is a very special kind of protein prepared from the animal's origin source, especially from bones and skin. The old days, the gelatin first prepared from the skin of pig and later it is developed from the bones also. So the gelatin is very important use in many industry, especially the food industry. So we will discuss the brief background and origin of the gelatin, then the major resource materials and the basic principles and chemistry of gelatin preparation, different aspect of the preparation of gelatin with full details we will discuss. Then we will have a brief comparison between gelatin and glue and also a comparison about gelatin and collagen. So collagen has become very popular nowadays in a hydrolyzed form. So they are to some extent similar. So some comparison and their use, we will see the differences and benefits. And finally, we will discuss in more details about the use of gelatin in different industry, more specifically about its use in the food industry. So for a brief introduction, this particular lecture is more relevant for animal byproducts utilization. At undergraduate level, I have already discussed briefly about the utilization of bones. So there we have discussed about the preparation of bone meal, and after that we have discussed briefly about the preparation of gelatin. But this is a separate course for postgraduate students of livestock products technology. So here we will discuss more details about the preparation of gelatin. So one of the main use of bone is for making bone meal. But when the bone quality is good and edible category from healthy and hygienic collection, the fresh bones specially goes for making gelatin. So let us see some brief about the bones. It is about 15% of the dressed carcass and 12 to 13% of the live weight in case of cattle and buffalo. And if we see the average composition of fresh bone, the moisture is about 50%, red and yellow marrow about 15%, organic matter 12% and inorganic matter 23%. But for the purpose of gelatin, the main interest is the organic matter. The organic matter present inside the hard bone, that is the wrapped inside the inorganic matter. So that organic matter is actually collagen, which remains within the hard structure, and that is called as osine. That is the thick collagen part. This osine is actually called as the mother of gelatin. So our discussion more is on the use of these bones for making gelatin. So bones are primarily used if it is a good quality for making the gelatin, and the lower quality of it is called glue. So regarding gelatin, little more details. Gelatin is manufactured by denaturation of native structure of collagen. So collagen is present largely in our skin and bone, and that collagen is partially denatured and then it is converted to gelatin and it becomes more soluble. The collagen conformation is distorted by heating and partially recovered during cooling process, which we are going to discuss more details. And to be very clear, gelatin is a translucent, not transparent, not opaque. It's a translucent, colorless, brittle, flavorless, solid substance derived from collagen. So when it is solid, it is translucent. So globally, there is a huge demand for gelatin, and it has got use or application in many diverse industries, especially in the food industry. So different aspect of that we are going to see later. Let us now understand little more details about the basics of gelatin and its characteristics. Actually, gelatin is an organic protein produced by partial hydrolysis of collagen from connective tissues. As I mentioned, bones and skins are having large amount of collagen. This collagen is normally insoluble, but by slow heat treatment, this collagen get partial hydrolysis and there is a change in its properties and it becomes soluble, and then it is called gelatin. The natural molecular bonds between collagen strands are broken down into a form that rearranges more easily. So in case of collagen, it is made up of tropocollagen, where the molecules are having the cross linkages. So these cross linkages are broken and there is a rearrangement, and that's why its characteristics and properties changes and it becomes soluble. So gelatin melts when heated and solidifies when cooled again. Once the gelatin is prepared, when it is heated in water, it get soluble or melt, and when it is cooled down, it becomes solid. So together with water, it forms a semi-solid colloidal gel. So that gel formation is a very special property which is used in the food industry. Now, based on the principle of preparation, gelatins are majorly two kinds. One is gelatin A, another is gelatin B. So in case of gelatin A, there is a pre-treatment with acid before the actual thermal treatment or extraction. So then it is called gelatin A. Whereas in case of gelatin B, it is pre-treated with alkaline before heat treatment. So then it is gelatin B. Now let us see about the sources of gelatin. I have already mentioned the earliest use for preparation of gelatin, the raw material was pig skin. So though pig skin is edible and it goes with meat, but it is such a huge quantity, especially in the developed countries, the pig meat is the major meat. Now slowly the trend is changing and poultry is taking over. So this pig skin is the major source developed for the used for the gelatin making, and then slowly came the cattle and buffalo bones, which we are going to see more details about the preparation of gelatin from bones, and then the hides, that is the large animal cattle and buffalo hides. Nowadays there is a less demand for hides. Earlier it is majorly used for making leather, but with the advent of high quality synthetic leathers, the value of hides or leather is reducing. So there is a alternate use of making gelatin from cattle buffalo hides also. And the another major source for gelatin is the fish or marine fish. So large fishes are very good source of skin and other bones, especially when we separate the fillets, a large portion remains with the skeleton and the skin. So they are also useful for making gelatin. Here we can see about 44% of gelatin coming from pig skin and about 27% coming from the bones and 28% coming from the bovine hides, and remaining is very little. Here we can see at a glance the whole story of gelatin. The first one is showing the source from bovine, swine, marine and poultry. The second one about the preparation, that is the extraction of collagen, and then there is a hydrolysis and getting the gelatin. Then there is a filtration and drying and getting the gelatin powder. And in the right side we can see the different modification for use of gelatin. Either it is converted to hydrogel, that's a modern perspective which I will talk at the end. Then there is a bulk gelatin or film formation, foam formation, or making the solution and use in different food industries. So altogether this is about the whole about the gelatin. Here we will see more details about the manufacture of gelatin or glue. First we will see the brief steps and then we will go for the details later. The basic principle is to extract the collagen and then it is hydrolyzed by slow heating and then we can get the gelatin, as I have discussed, it's produced by the action of hot water on collagen or osin by the process of hydrolysis. The procedure or the steps, this is particularly for making gelatin from bones. So there should be washing of bones, then demineralization to remove the hard mineral or inorganic part, then extraction of collagen or heating, through which we get the actual conversion of collagen to gelatin, and then there is a filtration to remove this gelatin part, then further concentration, and finally drying. So this extraction part starts with the 60 degrees Celsius temperature, but everything will not come, so we go for higher temperature up to 100 degree. But lowest temperature gives the good quality, higher temperature give the poor quality of gelatin. So we are going to discuss all this in more detail. This is the very basics about the preparation of gelatin. Here we can see the complete story of making gelatin in the diagram, very short. So there is the beginning with the porcine bone, then there is a crushing of the bones, then demineralization to remove the inorganic part, and sometime little bit of hydrolysis done with enzyme. So that is about that osin or the collagen, and then it undergoes slow heating, that is the extraction of gelatin. Now the water should be removed by filtration, and then further it is concentrated, and then it undergoes drying, and finally we get dried gelatin. So this is the complete story for making the gelatin in very brief. So here we will see little more details about the preparation of gelatin. The first phase is the collection of long bones. So these bones are collected from the slaughterhouse, especially from cattle and buffalo or pig. The first condition is the animal should be healthy, so there must be antemortem and postmortem inspection, and the bones should be collected hygienically and stored properly. Next, they should be properly washed and cutting should be done. And then there is a step called degreasing. So a lot of fats will be there outside, so that fat should be removed. That is done by heat treatment or by using organic solvent. So all the grease or fat should be removed. Then it undergoes a crushing, that is breaking into pieces. So generally 1 to 2 centimeter cubes, and then further these pieces will be dried and it will undergo demineralization with 4 to 10% hydrochloric acid for 1 to 2 weeks. That removes the inorganic part, and we get the dicalcium phosphate as a byproduct of this process, and this dicalcium phosphate can be used as a mineral supplement in the livestock. Now after demineralization we get the soft spongy structure, that is the osin or the collagen, that should be thoroughly washed, and then it undergoes extraction by hydrolysis at different temperature, starting with 60 degree, and finally we can go up to 100 degree in different phases. Now this heating process brings the gelatin out and it remains in the water. Now it has to be filtered to get the concentrated portion of the gelatin. Then that concentrated portion further undergoes drying and we get the dried gelatin. So this is the complete steps. Some parts of it we are going to see in more details. So here we will specifically discuss about the preparation of crushed bones. So this itself is a separate industry. Earlier I have discussed for undergraduate lecture about the utilization of bones. So there I have discussed separately about the preparation of bone meal, and also separately a preparation about the crushed bones. So crushed bones are the raw material for making gelatin. So this itself is a separate industry. After that it goes to the gelatin making factory. So here once again we will see the steps, that is about the selection or collection of bones from healthy animal, collected hygienically and stored properly. Then they will undergo cutting into pieces, then heating and cooking for degreasing. Then they have to be washed properly and dried, and then it undergoes crushing into smaller pieces, that is 1 to 2 centimeter. After that this will be packed and stored, and it goes separately to the gelatin processing factory. So this itself is a subsidiary industry just to make crushed bones. That is the before gelatin extraction previous step to make the raw material ready for the extraction of gelatin. Here once again we are seeing the complete flow chart for preparation of gelatin. Few steps I am going to discuss in more details. So collection of bones, if it is from healthy animal raw bones, it will go for making edible gelatin. If it is for dead animals or deserted animals, then it will go for non-edible category. Now about the degreasing, as I have mentioned, the temperature should be 40 to 50 degree and it has to undergo repeated washing and stirring. And finally, we can do further degreasing by using solvents like chloroform. Then we have told about the demineralization, that is to remove the hard salt of calcium phosphate. So that is removed by dilute acid treatment up to 2 to 3 weeks time and slow mixing. And by this process, all the minerals will come out as dicalcium phosphate. That is the byproduct used as mineral supplement. And finally, we get a very soft structure, that is the osin. Now this osin will undergo a liming process, that is 5 to 10% lime for 3 to 8 weeks. So I told earlier, if we do acid treatment, then it becomes a grade A gelatin, and if we go for alkaline treatment, then we go for B category gelatin. So after liming, then it is washed and remove the lime for 15 to 30 hours, and then the pH is adjusted to neutral or slightly acidic, and then it undergoes for extraction, where it will be under heating for a long time. And I told at 60 degree there will be high quality A grade, and if it is 70 degree B grade, and further high temperature will get still lower grade of gelatin. And after that there is a filtration and concentration by vacuum. The water will have the concentrated solution of gelatin that can be concentrated under vacuum, and finally it undergoes drying. So this is the whole process in details for making the gelatin. Here we can see some more details, some minor steps which we have not discussed. This is at the industry level how the gelatin is prepared. Especially it is more suitable for extraction from the hides or skins. So hides and skins are chopped, then it will undergo either acid treatment or alkali treatment. Then there will be washing, and then there will be extraction. That is the first stage. Then in the second stage, already extracted, there is a water solution with gelatin. So that undergo filtration, deionization and concentration under vacuum. Then it will be sterilized, there will be chilling and drying. That is the second stage. And in the third stage, it is further drying, milling, quality control and storage. So there will be several quality parameter tested. Then it will undergo the grinding or milling, then packaging and inspection, and then there will be marketing. So this is the industrial details about the preparation of gelatin powder. Here we will see the chemical composition of gelatin. On an average, it will have about 15% moisture and 1 to 4% inorganic salts. If we see the elements as a composition, in case of gelatin, it will have carbon 15%, hydrogen 26%, nitrogen 18%, oxygen 25%, sulfur 0.1% and phosphorus a very traces amount. So this is the elementary composition of the gelatin. Now we will see the properties of gelatin. It has got unique properties. That's why it is very useful in many industries and especially in food industry. So it is tasteless, odorless, that is translucent or vitreous, brittle and yellowish in color. It has got the gelling and water binding properties, so that is why it is extremely useful in all kind of food processing and food items. It has got surface active properties, film forming properties, micro encapsulation properties, bioactive properties of hydrolyzed. So gelatin at a further one step, it can be hydrolyzed into smaller peptides. Then it becomes very useful bioactive properties. It has got protective colloidal action, it has got amphoteric properties, and it has got antimicrobial properties. So these are briefly about the properties of gelatin. At a later stage, I may make another lecture about more about the chemistry and properties of the gelatin. Now let us see what is the difference in gelatin and glue. So in principle both are same. Chemically there is no difference between gelatin and glue. Both are mostly protein. Only thing is there is a modification of gelatin partially hydrolyzed. The major difference is gelatin is of high quality and glue is lower quality. The gelatin is prepared at a lower temperature, so it is high quality and better properties. Glue is prepared at a higher temperature. When the temperature is high, the some remaining portion are extracted from the collagen, but the quality or the properties will be inferior. So that is glue. So glue is a inferior quality of gelatin. And further, gelatin is from healthy animals in hygienic condition prepared, so it is for edible use, whereas glue can be from dead animals and there can be some unhygienic permission, so it is not for any food use or edible use. So that's about it. So in case of gelatin, edible use from fresh bone of slaughtered animals which undergoes inspection. The edible uses like ice cream, jellies, chocolates, foaming agents, etc. And also in pharmaceutical like capsules, tablets, or as a plasma extender in blood transfusion. So glue is a low grade gelatin with darker color and has only inedible uses. So glue is used as sizing agent in textile and leather industry, in photography, and it is also used as a adhesive in plywood industry, furniture industry, sandpaper and gum tape, etc. Now briefly we will have a comparison between gelatin and collagen. As I told at the beginning, collagen is the source for gelatin, mostly from the connective tissue, that is skin and bone inside the collagen, which is partially hydrolyzed and converted to gelatin. But nowadays there is a lot of popularity about the use of collagen for sports medicine or for exercise or fitness or bodybuilding. So in that case, collagen is separated, isolated and sometimes hydrolyzed and marketed as collagen powder, and that has become very popular as health supplement. So we will have a discussion and comparison between these two. So we will see a little bit about the chemistry and comparison between collagen and gelatin. So collagen is a tough protein, a connective tissue protein. It has got large number of cross linkage through the disulfide bridges, and that's why it is very tough and it is not soluble. It has got triple helix structure of the protein, but it undergoes either acidic or alkali treatment and then long heat treatment. In that process there is a modification, there is a hydrolysis in the cross linkage, and there is formation of different kind of hydrogen bonds and covalent bonds, and thereby it becomes soluble. Now when it is further cooled down, it becomes solid, and when it is heated, it is in the solution. So when it is cooled down, it gels, and further cooling leads to formation of solid. So basically there is a molecular rearrangement, formation of large number of hydrogen bonds, and it absorbs the water. So it is a kind of hydrolysis and hydration of collagen, and then it is becoming gelatin. But the chemically it is almost same as protein. About 98% protein will be there. The amino acid component remains almost same. Now we will have a brief comparison about the properties and benefits of collagen and gelatin. As I mentioned, collagen has become very famous nowadays, but it is actually used as a hydrolyzed. So if we see the chemical structure, the collagen has a triple helix with thousands of amino acids, whereas gelatin is a degraded form of collagen comprising of shorter chain of amino acids or peptides due to the breakdown. Whereas in case of collagen, there is a triple helix, that is the long polypeptide chains, but amino acids are almost same. If we see the digestibility, it is very easy to digest when taken as collagen peptides. That is the hydrolyzed collagen. Collagen undergoes hydrolysis either by acid, alkali, or by different enzymes, and then only it is used for different health benefits. Whereas in case of gelatin, because it is already broken or hydrolyzed, so it is easily digestible. If we see solubility, the hydrolysates are also dissolved easily in hot and cold liquid. In case of gelatin, mostly it dissolves in little bit of warm liquid. Gelling properties, collagen will not have gelling property, whereas that's a very special property of gelatin. That's why it is extensively used in food processing, food industry, different things we are going to see later. Then forms, the shape. So collagen hydrolysate is available as powder or granulated. Similarly, gelatin also made into powder or granulated or in the form of sheets. Uses, in case of collagen hydrolysate, mostly as a nutritional supplement. In case of gelatin, mostly as a gelling agent in foods and other industry when it is low quality, that is glue. If we see benefits, it is collagen hydrolysate is very good for skin, joint, gut and bone health, and the gelatin is also equally useful for skin, joint, gut and bone health, because both are actually the source of amino acids. Here we can see the comparative use of gelatin and collagen. Gelatin is used in fruit snacks, in marshmallows, in sauce, or as a thickener in soup, in coffee, and also as a binder in bakery items. In case of collagen hydrolysates, it is added to hot or cold coffee, to smoothies, to soups and sauces, and also into protein shake and oatmeal, etc. We are going to see more details about the food industry applications and other industry applications of gelatin. We will discuss about the details use of gelatin. Here we can see the different industry where it is useful. It is majorly in the food industry, and another great large use in the biomedical industry. Then largely it is used in cosmetics industry, photographic industry, even plywood industry, etc. So all this we are going to see little more details in the next. Now we will see the details application of gelatins both in edible, non-edible industry, etc. Like in the photo industry, that is roll of film and X-ray picture. Of course, these are all low quality gelatin like glue. In the technical industry like match industry, matchbox or matchstick. Then adhesives, paper manufacturing and box manufacturing. In the medical and pharmaceutical industry, it is used for styptic cotton, in capsules, then tablets, vitamin encapsulation and sugar coated pills, etc. In the food industry, of course, we need high quality gelatin, same as medical or pharmaceutical, high quality, edible quality. So food industry use in yogurt, jelly, soft sweets, packaging like edible packaging, in beverages as a thickening agent, and also for films and coatings. Then there is cosmetic industry. Again, we need high quality, that is within the cosmetics it is used different kind of creams, etc. Then in hair and skincare products, in toothpaste and in different kind of lotions. So this is broadly different applications in different industry of the gelatin. Here we can see the broad use in different areas of food industry about the gelatin, like in soft sweet, in marshmallow, in cake, in sausage, that is meat product, there it is used as a binder or stabilizer, in meat jelly, in beer, in beverage, in jelly and ice cream. So there are broad spectrum use in different areas of the food industry. Little more details we will see later. Here once again we can see widespread use and modification of gelatin, either as a foaming agent in marshmallow and soft gel candy, for emulsifying agent, particularly emulsion type of meat products, sausages, etc., or low fat spread. It is used as a water binding or water retention in bulky dessert, for film forming in fruits and fish products, as a stabilizer in beverages and wine, as thickening agent in ice cream, and as a gel forming agent in yogurt. So this is the wide range of modification of gelatin in the food industry. Gelatin is used as a stabilizer, or sometimes as a thickener, or sometimes as a texturizer in different foods like in ice cream, jam, jellies, yogurt, desserts and margarine. Gelatin is used for clarification of juices such as apple juice and or vinegar. Similarly, there is a special kind of gelatin obtained from fish swim bladder, that is called isinglass, and that is still used in refining of wine and beer. So these are some of the very special use of gelatin in food industry. Gelatin is also used in most of the gummy candies as well as other products such as gelatin dessert and some ice cream and yogurt. And there are household gelatin which comes in the form of seeds, granules or powder. It is also used in homemade different food preparations and desserts. Gelatin is also commonly used as a gelling agent in food, in pharmaceuticals, in photography and cosmetic manufacturing, and some of these more details we are going to see next. The other technical uses of gelatin, mainly in pharmaceutical industry, the cells of the pharmaceutical capsules are prepared by gelatin, that is of very high quality and edible quality. So that is very easy to swallow, especially when the drugs are very bitter in taste, and moreover this gelatin is easily digestible, so it's very easy to deliver the drugs. Then there are other industrial uses, particularly lower category of lower grade of gelatin, that is glue, coming from mostly from hides, and that is unrefined gelatin. They are used as a silver halide crystals in the emulsion in virtually all photographic films. In photographic films, the silver halide crystals are held by the gelatin and also other photographic papers. Gelatin is closely related to bone glue and is used as a binder in match heads and sandpaper. So in the matchstick also the gelatin is useful for holding the firing elements. Nowadays there is a demand for modern packaging where the gelatin is used as a food packaging material, especially for edible packaging. So we know about the modern packaging like active packaging, antimicrobial packaging, intelligent packaging. In all these cases, gelatin is used as a edible composite films and also as a edible packaging material or for biodegradable packaging material. So gelatin has got a lot of use in the more advanced food packaging in the modern food industry. Here we can see further modern use of gelatin as a biodegradable, biocompatible, bio-antigenicity and widely available material, particularly in medical and pharmaceutical applications. So there is proposal method to improve the bioadhesive properties of gelatin for polymer blending, like it can be blended with alginate or chitosan or polyvinyl pyrrolidone. So while binding this, it will have a much advanced properties. Similarly, there is a chemical modification suggested like thiolated gelatin, methyl acrylyl gelatin and amination gelatin, that is aminated. So this kind of modified gelatin has got more modern use in the pharmaceuticals. So now we are almost at the end of today's lecture. So let me summarize. Today we have discussed basically about the utilization of bones for making gelatin, and it can also be prepared for skins. Particularly old days it was started for using or making gelatin from pig skin, but nowadays it is more used from the cattle and buffalo bone also. So this talk is more relevant for the utilization of bones, but briefly I have mentioned about the preparation of gelatin from skin also. We have discussed the sources, the chemistry and the chemical principle for making gelatin, the details procedure I have discussed with flowchart, the properties of gelatin. We had a comparison between gelatin of different grade, that is gelatin and glue. We have a comparison of gelatin and collagen. Nowadays collagen has become very popular for health supplements and sports medicine, so we had a details discussion and comparison about it. And then we have discussed in details about the use of gelatin in different industry, especially in the food industry. We have discussed more details. Further, it has a use in the photography industry, pharmaceutical industry, and in the plywood industry also. So altogether it is a very useful material coming from the animal origin protein. So basically it is protein almost 98% and almost similar amino acids, only there is a change in the structure and properties. So hope it makes useful and very easy to understand. Thank you.